Adam and Eve were the first. So Eve's seed, the next in line, the next of kin, was who? Yeshua. Everybody else had sin. The only one of that pure bloodline of Adam and Eve without sin was Yeshua. So Yeshua would have been the next of line, the next of kin. The Torah commands that the next of kin slay the transgressor, the murderer. So we know that Yeshua is coming back one day to put an end to the person that convinced our mother Eve to partake of the tree of life. It's his duty. It's his job. Because the Father doesn't break his own word. Everything is established in this succinct line. It can't be moved out of place. If the Father said it, then that's the way it has to be. That's the way it has to be accomplished. So Yeshua, hence, was crucified from the foundation of the earth. He knew this was going to have to happen. Knew it from the beginning that this was going to have to happen because the Word was established. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And later on it says, and the Word was made flesh to dwell among men. Yeshua was that Word. We talked about that. Fancy, just go on my page here. Actually, flip one to me. Okay. For these priests were made without an oath, but this with an oath by him that said unto him, the Lord swear and will not repent, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Do we remember that? Psalms 110. And the Lord said unto the Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies your footstool. Today you are my son. I have begotten thee. And you are a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. That was the only oath God ever made with the priest. Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. Yahweh. It's the only oath he ever made with the priest. And it was to Yeshua, to Adon, to deity. Let's read that again. For those priests were made without an oath, but this with an oath by him that said unto him, the Lord swear and will not repent, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. There's the oath. Who was he swearing to?
Yeshua.
Yeshua. By so much was Yeshua made a surety of a better testament. And they truly were many priests, because they were not suffered to continue by reason of death. But this man, because he continueth ever, forever, hath an unchangeable priesthood. Wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that come unto Yahweh by him, seeing he ever liveth to make intercession for them. For such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens, who needeth not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice first for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once, when he offered up himself. For the law maketh men high priests, which have infirmity. But the word of the oath, which was since the law, maketh the Son who is consecrated forevermore. Do we understand that? Those priests couldn't have an oath made with them. They couldn't have been the Redeemer because they had sin in their life. They served in the temple daily, doing the work of the Father. They lit the menorah. The Kohen Gadol one time a year went behind the veil, stood in the presence of Yahweh. But they could not have had an oath made with them because there was sin in their life. They had to first offer sacrifice for their own sins before they could offer sacrifice for the people's sins. Yeshua did not have to offer a sacrifice for himself because he was sinless. When he hung on the cross, he offered sacrifice one time and one time only, and that was for the people because he didn't have to offer for himself. He was a sinless sacrifice. That's why we keep saying time and time again, if he changed anything, if he broke anything, if he added to anything, he could not have been the Messiah. Because he would have had to first offer his life for himself and then offer his life again for us. It couldn't be so. You can only offer your life one time. One time and one time alone. You can't die 1,000 deaths like the Prince of Thieves. You can only die once. That's why, to the believer, once we become born again and we're created a new creation in Messiah Yeshua, oh death, where is your sting? Hell, where is your victory? Because we've already had our death, burial, and resurrection. We're raised in him. We step from life to life. We don't go to death, hell, and the grave. Because we've already experienced that, because we've laid this sinful nature in the grave to be resurrected no more. Now we're walking in new life towards Yeshua, to walk in that priesthood, that order of Melchizedek, that Kohen Gadol that has never sinned himself, that offered himself as a living sacrifice for us. And now our lives are a living sacrifice unto him. Sacrifice has to be made, because sin will reap its just reward. And sin brings death. So we had to die as individuals and be raised again in Yeshua, so we could have life. Because without him, we are dead men. You may be sucking in air in and out your mouth. You may be breathing in and out. But without Yeshua, you're a dead man. You have one judgment and one judgment alone waiting for you. Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you. Depart from me, you that have discarded my Torah. I never knew you. Depart from me, you that have transgressed what I've told you to do. I never knew you. If you want to be my bride, walk in covenant with me. Here's my ketubah. Do what I've told you to do. That's what a priest does. It brings us into covenant with the Father. That's what this whole thing's about, is to be able to be in communion with Elohim once again. Walking with him in the cool of the morning. Speaking with him. Learning his ways. Having an intimate relationship with him. Because we lost that with our father Adam and with our mother Eve. We lost that intimacy with him where we could walk and talk with him. But Yeshua brought about this transformation that makes it possible for us once again to stand in the presence of a just and holy God. Chapter 8. Now of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such an high priest, who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens, a minister of the sanctuary, and of the true tabernacle, which Yeshua pitched, and not man. For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices, wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer. What did Yeshua have to offer? His life. That's what he had to offer.